Do you think that having this history of knowing about music that came before you, like in the 70s, I know you look up to Berry Gordy a lot too, and Quincy Jones. Do you think that for producers today, it's important to go back like in history and see what came before you and study things like that? Does that make you a better producer and songwriter?
It depends on where you're trying to go as a producer, right? I guess like it won't make you a better producer if you're gonna continue to keep making the same music that you've already made. For me, yes, it made me a better producer because once I did once I did Crisscross Brat and oh no, I did Crisscross Escape Brat. Right? These are three different artists. Crisscross Escape Brat. Somebody handed me Usher, and it was like I didn't back down, but I never had produced a solo male artist ever. So it's like I don't even know. I really don't even know what I'm about to do. Right? When we made My Way, I was just like, I was winging it. I never did it before, right? But I thought that I could do it, but I never did it before. So at that point in time, yeah, it's like I said, for me, it's all like Slumdog Millionaire. It's you start going through what you've listened to. You start thinking about conversations you heard. You start watching other people's videos, and you start trying to like figure out how do you get to this space? How did Bobby Brown and Teddy Riley make Prerogative? How did Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson make Thriller and Off the Wall? Like, so yeah, you start trying to use that to get that energy anyway to get to that space. Because like I said, I had never made a male artist record, and My Way was the first one that I got an opportunity to do.
And that was good because you were able to say a lot of what you had to say about yourself through Usher and get him in trouble for those things. But
My Way, yeah. Well, the first song, yeah. You Make Me Wanna was about me. Totally. So well, not totally about me, because it came from Usher having a girlfriend, and then his girlfriend we found her on a dance floor on New Year's Eve with some guy. Woo. Now, she wasn't with the guy, but she chose to dance with this guy during New Year's in the club, and she came with Usher, and Usher was livid, and he wanted to leave. Let's get out of here. He wanted to leave the girl in the club, everything. So leave the one I'm with. That's where that part came from. The other parts came from just me living my life and, intertwining things that he said in the story. So it was both of our stories on that song, You Make Me Wanna. So moving forward to get to Confessions, I just use that as a tool to write confessions. Like, shit, I done went through a lot with girls, and the ultimate thing that I did go through was that I did have a girlfriend, and I got another girl pregnant, and how hard it was for me to deal with it. So I knew that, and I knew no guys had ever talked about this on record.
Let me ask you this, Jermaine. Can you be trusted in a relationship now after you've been?
Why would you say that?
I'm just after everything that you've been through, because you did.
Why would you say that? What about that just made you ask me that question?
Because you said you had a girlfriend and got another girl pregnant, and.
I was young, but honestly, the honest truth of that story is that it wasn't at the exactly same time, right? It was a situation where me and my girlfriend
were on a break
up, and it was like a little 3-4 month breakup. And at that time, I started going back out, hanging out, and I had a girlfriend that I had been with for 8 years. So and she never had a baby. So to meet a girl within those 3 to 4 or 5 months and she gets pregnant, feels different. It just feels different. I didn't actually cheat on my girlfriend though. That's what. So just for the record, so people know you and yourself, I didn't actually cheat on her. It was just a time period that we had broken up. And the crazy part is that when my baby mother got pregnant, she kind of like distanced herself because she thought I was gonna act weird about it, and she and I stopped talking, and then I went back to my girlfriend. and she and I got back together. So then we got back together in the midst of me acting like I didn't know I was getting ready to have a baby.
Damn,
So
that's
that's where it got crazy at.
and that's everyday life too. I mean, it happens. Like you said, that's not something that people like to talk about, but it does happen all the time.
Yeah, yeah, and then I just knew, you know, like I said, once we started talking, like once we got into confessions, you know, part two, because first part of confessions was called All Bad, and the story wasn't that song didn't even make it on the album till the double whatever the deluxe came out or whatever, right? But so part two was basically all that story what I just told you about me, because Usher didn't even have kids when I wrote Confession.
But I'm asking you this like now, do you think, because you said you've been through a lot when it comes to women, do you think now like you could be in a monogamous relationship, like be with somebody and just you and them for the rest of your life?
Yeah, it might be a long time before that though, because just like I know that, you know, women don't understand the parameters of life.
What does that mean?
um just the parameters is like a lot of things. Like if you still a guy that cares to do a lot of exotic things, like you might want to buy a yacht, and you think you might want to buy an island, and you think you want to do just a lot of things that like I think about. Um, it's hard to have a woman and for her to understand that other women have to be around for these things to actually move and live the way that they are supposed to. You know, I tell people every day, like I don't know a guy that buys, you know, and Envy might think differently because he has a bigger family, but I'm saying most of the guys that buy these exotic cars and these Ferraris and these all these crazy cars, they're not getting these cars and be like, I just bought a car, and they call a wife as soon as they buy the car. They riding through the hood. They riding to show people what's going on. And a lot of times that creates the conflict. And I look at relationships the same way I look at, just like I'm telling you with this. I know my boundaries. I know things that I'm gonna step over, and I know me. I do know I like property. I like buying things. I like stuff.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and we are sitting with Jermaine Dupri, and he's got so much more to fill us in on. You know I got a lot of questions. So make sure you keep it locked here on Established with Angela Yee on Fox Soul.